Right. But here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only. Devin, whose business are you digging in today, man?
Eggs and ass. They both went up this year. You didn't know that?
Listen, mama, here's your boy. And he got something to say.
I've always believed firmly, on paper, I am a white man.
Brother Kenny, Mr. Pound Town himself. Sir,
I'm unbothered. I'm getting ready to go walk my fish again and fly my cat. That cat in this whole 4 years. That's all I'm gonna
listen, y'all.
We apologize.
I really try to control my show as much as I can, but when y'all get started, oh my God.
It's TFG tonight. With Brenton Haynes, Kenny the sports guy, Mr. Lee Black, and the lady of the hour, Miss Devin Divine. Yes, sir.
Well, it's Friday, and I am telling you, we are about to have a great time in the house of the TFGs. What's good, everybody? Y'all doing all right?
What's happening?
Good. I can't call it. Hey, Carl, good to see you. She's on time today, and the rest of y'all doing all that talking. All right. All right. Well, listen, everybody. If we say something you like, one thing my son asked me. He said, "Daddy, why you don't say y'all the best morning show at night no more?"
Oh,
Well, we are. And I said, "My bad, bro." I started saying it again. My kids, I think they really just be watching just so that they can see if I'm talking about this. I think that's what it is. So yes, we are the best morning show that you can watch at night now.
I forgot that you used to say that. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, I remember I was so stupid. I would just say good morning. I know, but I worked through that, Kenny. Thank you. I went to therapy for that. So yes, it is 7:00 at night, Central Standard Time. So we apologize. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have an exciting show today. Lee Black is loosening up because he's ready to say something he ain't got no business saying for sure. But ladies and gentlemen, if we say something you like, by all means, feel free to give a little bit. I want to thank those that support us quite often, and we appreciate that. And so we're going to try to, as the pastor would say, bring in some more of those love offerings. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. But we will get started. And sister, I want to start with you. You've been in Texas all your life, right? I'm just so again. There is a politician. What is her name? I can't. She's running for another office. What's that girl name?
I think it was Gonzalez. Was it Gonzalez the last name?
Gina Hinojosa. That's her name.
Hinojosa. Okay.
Right. She said that if Greg Abbott really wanted to do something about this economy, he had 30 years. I did not know that boy was in office for 30 years.
Yeah, that's not true though.
He ain't been in office for 30 years?
Only 11. It feel like 30. Only 11.
Because who was the governor before him?
Rick Perry. Rick Perry was in the office forever.
Yes, that's who it was. And
Rick,
I think Rick been in there longer than him.
Yeah, Rick was in there longer than him.
Yes, okay. Yes. But I thought that was really interesting. But I wanted to know what do you think the longest living politician currently is still in office?
Rich McConnell, old decrepit ass. He will not die. He won't die. I think that man 174 years old, and he done failed 174 times, and he won't die. He may be the oldest living person, let alone politician.
Well, they got him out of the hospital now. He in rehab, but I really think Bernie is on. We have weekend at Bernie's right now. I'll be honest with y'all. Black, who do you think the longest living politician currently still in office?
Probably that old fucker that need to die. Miss McConnell.
Okay, all right. I'm assuming that Kenny would probably say this. It's actually a man named Chuck Grassley.
Oh.
He's been in there since 81.
Wow.
No way.
I had to Google it. I promise y'all. It's folks that's been in the office since the 80s, y'all. And he's still in there now. I said to myself, what kind of change would you be willing to make if you've been in office for almost as long as we've been living?
Wow. That's ridiculous.
That is horrible, man.
I'm a billionaire from laundering all that money because that's all they do when they in there.
That's all they do. So I really do think they need some term limits, if I'm being honest.
Oh, no doubt they need term limits for sure.
Yeah, I think they definitely need some term limits. Hey, Miss Tori, good to see you. She said,
"What's up, Lady T?"
Yeah, right. Yes, that's it. Corpse. So again, she said, yes, he may, but I think he got a little bit more of dementia. But yes, but oh, you talking about Grassley? Yeah, man. So at the end of the day, y'all, these folk not, as Black would say, y'all gonna have to take this these senators and these House of Representatives position that they cold dead hands. That's right. What I see fit. Yeah. Black, well, I got one for you here. Your president is now signing a bill again to try to get rid of these immigrants again with this birth of citizenship. I mean, he just, and the courts already done shut it down, but he trying to pick it back up again. Yeah. I mean, he has no shame. And I mean, what you think about all that, brother?
Well, and turn your volume up a little bit. It's low for me. Is it for everybody else?
It is. I was going to say that your volume's low.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. You were just a little low at first.
A little low. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll just get down on the flow.
Yeah. So here's the thing. At its core, is it wrong because it's sticking in his craw about the whole Bertha thing? And CeCe's right, but pardon me if I don't give a fuck about anybody else right now. Right now I'm a Black man trying to survive in Trump's 2026, and so I don't give a fuck about Emmanuel, PP, Wee, and the rest of them. They can ship all their asses out as far as I care, because I'm just trying to survive. Right now, as my brother from another beneath me always say, I'm just trying to mind my business and survive this shit, because him fucking with immigrants and everybody else on here. Look, I got my own problems as a Black man, so right now I don't give a fuck what he did.
Well, there's quite a few people that do, and they really waiting on these midterms. I mean, Kenny, there's a lot of socialists that won their primaries in a Democratic situation. Y'all think this will go? Still low?
Yeah, like when you lean in.
Oh, okay, I need to sit up. Okay, yes, sir. Yeah. So Kenny, what do you think about all this socialism that's coming in? I don't think it's no worse than what we're dealing with now on the Republican side, right?
I agree. I don't understand where the this socialism talk is coming from, because I think it's been here
already there.
It's already there. So, but that's just one of those talking points that the right, the conservatives, they want to run off of that. They want to use that as the scare tactic to scare voters from going out and voting in the midterm. So yeah, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, ladies and gentlemen.
Please, unless it's really one in there, then you just have to do.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying. You got to breathe. Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, y'all, yes, sir. Go ahead.
I just want to make a quick comment on what my brother said, because again, I appreciate this platform, and I'll be holding this all week. But this is, things that people don't get a chance to talk about in here.
Right.
You so right, my brother Kenny, because it's straight out of the playbook that when they're seeing some of these elections, at stake. And you're seeing the independents kind of take on this thing, and it's all stemming from like what's happening in New York with Mamdani. Right. So you use these code words like socialist, and there's a guy that's on the radio here in Dallas that he touts all kinds of shit, literally talking about the commies is back. This is straight out of the playbook, way back from what they've been doing all along. It's amazing to me how anything at this point that represents something for the common regular people is being pushed as a communist agenda or a socialist agenda or something like that. What's wrong with a so-called politician who's supposed to give a fuck about the people wanting to make sure that the wealth is spread between all of us? And meanwhile, you got this old fucker propped up and ain't been in for 8 weeks, and we ain't seen him, but they holding on to his views, and this cowardly son of a bitch today that sanctioned the vote for this fucker they're gonna put in office. It's disgusting what they're doing, but they're using code words, like my brother said, to try to scare you away from. So don't fall for it, people. And that's the shit that really matter. That shit at the top, that's for billionaires and shit like that. The rest of us who got to eat and live every day, that's who they really trying to fuck with.
Well, there was one guy. There was one guy that got in, and he told the people that was with Trump. He told them, "Listen, we need to look out for the billionaires because they're the one who getting y'all jobs. So,
Meanwhile, the jobs report just came out, and so you want to talk
Right.
about that? Come on now.
yeah, no, I'm with you. So, all right, y'all. Listen, we can't speak on all of it because we ain't got time. But I just want to show a little bit of what's going on out there. But there's plenty more to go. So again, I could have spent another 20 minutes on Trump with this Iran foolishness, but I ain't gonna do that. All right, I got a couple of follow-ups. I'm gonna start with the lighter one first before I piss off Lee Black. Sister, the streets is mad. They want that college that gave Chris Brown that doctorate degree. They want them to put up there that they are not accredited. So does that make Chris Brown's doctoral degree invalid?
A bunch of people have a doctorate degree who can't spell doctorate. I don't know why he don't count. At least he got a talent. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people they're just handing doctorate degrees to, they don't even have a talent. So I just think it's all BS at this point. I feel like there were a lot of people we should have gone after way before Chris Brown for these fake ass doctorate degrees. It's just to get people to enroll. I finally just told myself, so I stopped being annoyed, that it's just to bring attention to their university so that people would want to enroll because Chris Brown is associated with it and whoever else.
Wow, but Black, they want that school to like acknowledge that they're not a university. That's an issue, right?
Well, for me, and I agree with my sister 1000%. And then I take umbrage to it because of the fact that I know how hard I've worked for my degree and it counts for something, and it waters down the sacrifice and the effort that some of us have put into it. And then what makes me angry about that too is from the where I hold the universities accountable to do that kind of thing, who want to draw attention. Meanwhile, Dr. William Cosby, better known as Bill Cosby, when you look at the multiple millions of dollars that he has contributed single-handedly to help African-American communities, and the moment he gets in a little bit of trouble, you run from him. You took his money.
Right.
He had wings that was in his name that put thousands of students through college, but at the first sign of trouble, you ready to take his name off buildings and shit like that and give it to Chris Brown. It doesn't make sense, folks.
Well, Kenny, I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? I don't know why they picking on this college. Like you said, a lot of people get it, so I don't know. Maybe Chris Brown just infected.
No, I don't. The only thing that I could think of, again, if you say they've lost their accreditation, maybe that was the reason for, like, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and nip this in the bud. Again, it's an honorary doctorate. I mean, I think most of us know that don't mean much. It's just, it's just a title. We know Chris Brown ain't got no damn doctorate degree. But and that's not no shade to Chris,
Right.
Yeah, right. No shade to him. But again, I agree with Lady D. No, Lady D said it was shade. But I agree with Lady D. I think a lot of these colleges and universities do that because they want to spike their enrollment. And if you know that a celebrity figure or athlete is affiliated with that particular school, then again, you can increase enrollment, get everybody hyped, and you can get a little bit more money funneled through there too as well.
Well, I know one thing. I would not be giving Chris Brown no degree if it was going to lose my accreditation. But it was a Christian school anyway, so again.
Well, it sounded like it was lost before they even gave it to him.
Yeah, right.
Maybe he brought attention to him, and then that's like, uh-oh.
That'd be the real point right there. So,
right.
Yeah. So again, I know y'all trying to, give courses on teaching 10 Commandments and all that kind of stuff, but whatever. Okay.
So be a content creator.
Hey, that boy Castanet did steal the show on that, so he got to him first, but whatever. All right, listen, Bank of America did what? Now, I know we all have at least worked a 9 to 5, at least at one point in time in our lives. So we are really clear about, when it comes to getting your medical insurance through your job, we know they have different packages, right? Stuff like that.
Right.
But Bank of America trying to pull a rabbit out their butt. Bank of America is reported to have reportedly spent $250 million per year on the GLPs. Now, sister, what does the GLP stand for?
Oh, like those peptides or whatever.
Mhm.
I can't think of what they mean.
Yeah.
Serena, yeah, that's what the weight loss.
Yeah.
It's
a weight loss drug. It's a weight
Yeah.
loss pill or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
with Goldie and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All that stuff. So Bank of America spent $250 million per year on GLP-1 drugs for their employees.
Mhm.
What's the scam here? What they doing? Why are they spending that
No,
money
it ain't
on?
no scam. In my opinion, it's not a scam. This is an indictment on where we are as America. We fat as fuck. Look at me. You know? And then you think about the banking, I'm keeping it funky. I'm keeping it buck. You think about the banking industry and what's happened to it has been decimated, because how many of us now physically walk in a bank? We do our banking primarily online, on our phones, you know. And so I know people who work in banking, and that's a dying industry. Let's just be honest. And so you got all these fat fuckers that have been sitting around for all these many years, you know. And if they want to keep them working, and this is the weight is heavy at the top, you know, go into any bank and look around. You don't see young, attractive people sitting around in banks anymore. You see people who have outgrown the position and still have the title. And those fat bastards has probably got high blood pressure, sugar, diabetes, all the same shit that I got. And so, you know what I'm saying? So these weight loss drugs is trying to help their fat ass to stay active, you know? And so Bank of America is, to me, is one of the worst institutions. So here's the part that they not telling you. While you spending that $250 million on to keep these fat fuckers living, you also charge an absorbent fees for the rest of us on everything else. They charge for everything else. That's the real scam.
Because they did.
As you brought that up, brother. Yeah.
Go ahead, Kenny. What you got on that?
I'm glad Brother Black. They charged them exorbitant overdraft fees. Weren't they in trouble? Didn't they get checked for doing that?
Yes.
Bank of America. So you know, I to me that's a company. You know, you're really just wasting the money, to be honest with you, because I guarantee you spending all that money, all them you know, I don't want to call them fat efforts like Brother Black, but all them obese people probably going home and eating chitlin sandwiches, bologna and cheese. They ain't seen a gym since 1980. So you really just pissing your money away anyway for that, you know, for those employees, in my opinion.
Well, sister, is that a good way to spend your money?
First of all, I don't believe it. I don't think they give a damn enough to spend that much money on their employees. I feel like it's something promotional with whatever the GLP company is. And what they're saying is we're giving them $250 million worth of GLPs, and these are the GLPs that you have to take. And they probably dumb enough through their insurance. They probably still paying like 40-50% of it. And plus it's like free advertising. I don't trust Bank of America. That was my first bank, by the way.
I don't trust them either.
Me neither.
We passed 15 minutes. Them bastards. I think I had an overdraft for like $15 or whatever. Yes. I wish I was exaggerating, y'all. I think
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Me too.
To $200 just to pay that shit off, because they kept recharging me every time I didn't pay the thing off. I can't stand them. I hope they. Never mind. So I don't believe them. I don't believe that they spent that. But also, I do know for a fact, though, if you lose weight, a lot of the chronic issues that we go to the doctor for all the time will go away. So the GLP company probably did some type of deal with them or something with them for that. And the outcome is that people lose weight and now they're no longer diabetic or no longer have high blood pressure. Because a lot of times if you lose a lot of weight, you feel better about yourself, you start exercising, you start eating right because you want to keep it up. And then a lot of your chronic health problems will disappear. But I don't trust them. They didn't pay for that. They lying.
I think you're just a little salty from the insufficient funds charge.
No, I'm salty too. I feel Lady D on that. I'll never bank at Bank of America ever again.
Me neither. Me neither.
Every time I get a credit card offer from them in the mail, I want to set it on fire.
Yep.
Man, Miss Torres says she go about 5 or 6 times a month. That's a
lot of money.
I know.
Yeah, I know. I don't.
Wow. All right, Miss Torres, let me find out you out there pushing.
Let me hold some, Lady T.
I know that's right.
over there washing money with a washateria. I hear you. Yeah, I think. I mean, I'm being funny, but I'm being serious at the same time. I really do. I hate that we're so skeptical that we can't. And again, I'm not saying I disagree or agree. I'm just saying like we know companies don't care about the employees for sure, but
Oh
at the
no,
same
we
time,
don't.
you know what I'm saying?
Nope.
That is what it is. And secondly, I don't know who still writes checks or get. Well, I shout out to my side hustle. I wish they would stop sending me checks in the mail, but I still deposit them. But can y'all come on get this direct deposit, please?
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Let's keep it moving. I thought they were better. And listen, Pride Month is over with, so I ain't playing with y'all. What you laughing at me?
Because I know what you finna say.
I think I do too. I think I do too.
Yeah. Here we go.
Listen, I'm just asking the question. I'm just a moderator. I'm here to ask conversations. I remember a long time ago, women were going to the other side because they knew that women were going to treat them better. Now that's what y'all told us. That's why y'all was going over there because men are dogs. So why is Brittany Griner now on her second marriage and she's getting a divorce again? Now, sister, hold on, Pebbles, Bam Bam, I need a little information. What in the world is going on here with Brittany Griner? It's her second marriage, right? This woman got her out of Russia.
You must not know the new studs today. They different. Them studs are the new YNs. They worse than being with a dude. If you're going to get with a stud, you might as well get with a trifling ass dude that be standing outside the gas station. They act just like them. They be fighting hoes now. They be stalking hoes now. They be eating with your relatives now. They act just like a trifling ass dude.
Clip that.
They the new community fake ping. That's what they are. They ain't shit. Nobody should be dating a stud today. That don't make no sense. They even, I think the testosterone did something to them, and it just messed them up a little. So if y'all gonna be messing with cooches and rubbing cooches, you need to get a feminine coochie, because them masculine cooches gonna do you dirty.
Oh my!
This is a test.
Now listen. Lee Black, they swore up and down that these women was gonna treat them good, and now all of a sudden we done waited a decade and a half to find out that they were lying in the first place. Miss Tori said she would get cheated. Well, listen, that girl was gone for a long time. So again, help me out, Black. I don't know what's going on around here.
Super fan CC, I have some really, really good close gay friends, and I had this conversation too because I knew where you're going with this, because it happens even with the males too. But since we're talking about lesbians, one of my lesbian friends, she told me this, what you just said, Lady D, you killed it, knocked it out of the park. The reality is how they trapped you. Now I don't want to use that word because they're gonna get mad with me, but how they got you is, you know, that insidious way of you telling this woman all your problems and how men this, that. And again, you bought into the system that women, this whole idea that women are so much more sensitive and this, that, and the other. At the end of the day, Lady D is 1000% correct that they understand you better than you would imagine, because they know, you know, they're women too. And so the reality is that they seem to be treating you a little bit worse. And you ain't getting stuck behind it. You know what I'm saying? That step-on shit is just for the birds. You know, that carpet munching shit only lasts for so long. You know, while you out here pretending in the bedroom, ain't no substitute for a warm, thick one with some blood coming between them veins. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Come on back home, you carpet munching bitches.
Hold on now. At least you can rinse them off and your pH balance might be all right. You know what I'm saying? If you got to get stuck by something, at least you can bleach that son of a bitch. But ladies, let me tell you, if they wear a sports bra and basketball shorts to the pool, run, bitch. They ain't no goddamn good. You don't need to be messing with them.
Well, I'm gonna speak for the fellas. If we gotta bleach ourselves off, the smell that's coming out them traps ain't no different. You put your hand down there, them drawers just as soppy as can be, and them things just as funky as they want to be.
Oh my God. Okay, Kenny.
Well, yeah, Pebbles and Bam Bam, they didn't win at it. There they go.
That's it. Now, Kenny, I mean, are we gonna be mad at them for lying to us all these years about how they were the better alternative was these studs? I mean, are we just gonna let them make it?
You know, me personally, man, I'm gonna continue to fly my kite, walk my fish. At this point, I really, if that's what you want to do, baby girl, do you. If you want to lay with a woman, cool. You know, but the interesting thing about this though is Brittany Griner thought that her ex-wife dipped back to her old ex, her boyfriend. So she wanted a DNA test on the new babies.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
No, it ain't Brittany's.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, because they had agreed upon getting a sperm donor.
Okay.
But in Brittany's mind, she thought her wife was cheating with her old boyfriend. Well, come to find out, the DNA test came. Maury Povich came out and told Brittany, yes, you are the father. So, so you will be paying child support now, Miss Griner.
Wow.
So welcome to being a man, Brittany.
Wow.
Is it all what it cracked up to be, Miss Griner? I would like to know that.
I think she paying spousal support for 2 different women.
Wow.
And now she's gonna be paying child support too.
Wow.
Crazy
Wow.
fool. Anyway,
Equal
all right.
rights.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Well, all right. Well, I just y'all told us it was better, so I was just trying to make sure because again, the divorce rate for y'all and these heteros is y'all running neck and neck for me. So I don't know.
I guess everybody got the right to be trash. Equal
That's
opportunity.
right. That's right.
That is. Y'all just stop lying. Okay. All right, Kenny. Well, sir.
Did I freeze? Oh, okay, I'm back.
You back? Yes, sir.
I don't know. My Wi-Fi tripping.
It's Mitch
All right.
McConnell. He coming for our Wi-Fi's today.
That's what it is. Yeah.
All right, sir. What we got going on in these streets? I know you ain't talking about Luka, but I think
No, we ain't talking about Luka. Ain't nothing to talk about with Luka right now. We got NFL preseason game went down last night. You know, if you wanted to watch, I didn't really watch it. But it's preseason. The Cardinals lost to the Panthers. No big deal. You know, it's preseason, first preseason game. But we are going to talk about the NBA because Mr. Jalen Rose, one of my favorite NBA analysts, he's got a communications degree, if you didn't know, from Michigan. So he know about communications. Well, he went on X this week and he threw some shade at some of these NBA analysts being stands for LeBron James. I'm going to read exactly what he said. Again, former ESPN NBA analyst Jalen Rose. They were talking about the NBA coverage, this past season, and Jalen Rose called it weak. Again, if you don't know, Rose was laid off by the ESPN in 2024. He posted on X that there are too many men and women who didn't play and former teammates or stands of LeBron James covering the league these days. The post caught some attention and ruffled some feathers, and it ruffled Mr. Shannon Sharp's feathers. As we all know, he's the biggest LeBron James fan, as in the media. He will respond and says, everybody that played a particular sport that was great, we've seen that. When I say talk it, I mean put it in the context for the layman fan, those are the casual fans. He said the casual fan, not the hardened fan, because the thing that people fail to realize, it's the casual fan who spends their money regardless of the sport. So he's basically saying that, if you're going to do this thing, you got to make it relatable to the casual fan. But Jalen Rose is saying that we got to get these people off the television screens who's just being fans of certain players.
Bronze-sexuals.
Yeah, bronze-sexuals, as they call them. So what's your thoughts on this? I know, Lady D, you more football, but as far as analysts and listening to people commentate even about football, does him being a professional of that sport or not playing it, does it even matter to you when it comes to commentary?
Not really, but I also know what he's talking about because a lot of celebrities, they like to kind of ride a bandwagon, and I feel like they do that on their shows because it brings in the views. And if maybe they feel like if they're anti-LeBron, they're going to to lose fans and they're going to lose viewers, and they're going to migrate to the ones who, because in their mind, all of us regular folks love LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of where they go with it. And I think that's why they do it. I don't believe a lot of the people like at the top, I'll say that, the ones that are making the big bucks as far as their commentary and who they stand for. I think they say whatever they have to say to get the people to come and watch. I don't think they love LeBron as much as they pretend.
Let me ask you this, Brenton. You know, Shannon also would comment about, because they talk about he and Nick Wright, how much they roll for LeBron. They don't really have a relationship with it. If you notice, LeBron hadn't been on either one of their shows, if you notice that, but he's their biggest, they're his biggest fans. But he made mention about Ahmad Rashad. If y'all don't remember, Ahmad Rashad was really the only dude that Michael Jordan really talked to.
Mm-hmm.
And so Shannon Sharpe was kind of like, well, what's the difference with Ahmad? Ahmad was like a fan of Michael Jordan's, but I don't see the similarities because Ahmad Rashad didn't have a show where he was singing MJ praises all the time. He just interviewed him as a journalist. Your thoughts on that, Brother Brenton?
I mean, even if you look at it today, I think like the boy that just got a whole bunch of money that was real tight with Aaron Rodgers. The kicker. I can't.
Pat McAfee. Yeah.
McAfee.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the same difference, right? But again, the what Jalen's talking about is the impartiality, right? The issue with you not being objective. Again, anybody can have an opinion. That's what a commentator does. He has an opinion. But when you want to ask somebody for, I will say, especially if you're a student of the game, like I'd like to hear things like. One of my favorite commentators is probably Peyton Manning.
Hey, Brenton, speak up a little bit. Lady T says she can't hear you.
God, dog.
There you go.
Somebody been messing with my stuff. That's what's going on. Let me find out what my kids did.
You did go low.
I know. I don't.
There
know.
You go.
Yeah,
you better now.
So what I'm saying is that my favorite commentator is Peyton Manning. Like he does a good job of, dissecting the football game because he's a student of the game. So again, I don't want to hear no dummy. I don't want to hear no meta world peace about basketball because he's an idiot, right? If I'm gonna hear from you, I want to hear from you because you know what you're talking about, not because Michael Jordan, like even when he did commentating or some special analyst, he was horrible. Like, nah, Mike, just stick to giving shoes and all that kind of stuff like that, please, because again, you don't do a good job there. So I don't know. Commentating is about opinions, but other than that, it's nothing. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with my mic. I'm gonna try to unplug it in just a second.
Brother Black, is it important? Does it matter if you play the sport or not? Can a guy that went to school, got his degree in sports journalism, mass communications, studied the sport, earned this, worked his way up through the media game. Can he give an objection and be an analyst just as well as a former professional player, in your opinion?
Yes, sir. I think he can. And I think two things can be true at the same time. On the one hand, I get what Jalen Rose is saying, and I think he has a valid point here because, there are receipts here, Kendrick Perkins, and there's a handful of bona fide named players that former teammates of LeBron James that are in prominent roles on a platform where they can sing his praises every day. And so that's unbalanced reporting, for me. On the other hand, to answer your question, my brother, sports commentating in particular is as much entertainment as it is anything else. How would you explain the rise of Stephen A. Smith? And so the reality is, if you do your homework and you're good at what you do, for me, this is where the disconnect comes in. When you bring up the name Ahmad Rashad, what cleverly Shannon Sharpe is not alluding to is the fact that Ahmad didn't have the same platform that we have today.
Right.
It's the difference between if I walked out there right now and I became a preacher and I'm known. And I saw your eyes pick up, Brother Brent, because you'll appreciate this. If I started preaching in this community, I might be a known preacher in Addison, but it's a big difference between me. That's my pulpit right here in this little area, and Joel Osteen or Billy Graham. And so when you have a platform like Shannon Sharpe, like McAfee's platform is so large now, there are rumors that he's negotiating $60 million a year. And this is a kicker, a former kicker. But the reality is, if you watch this platform, we are now moving away from actual commentating, debating, and it's all entertainment. These are just a bunch of guys just shooting the shit, just standing around in t-shirts, shooting the shit. And that's what the public wants to see right now. And so both things can be true. I think if you are a professional journalist and you have integrity, sports has always, in my opinion, been a microcosm of what we see in society. And so we don't trust the news anymore because they don't ask real questions. They don't get to the heart of it. And so when we look at the entertainment value, everybody has a podcast now. And they recognize and appreciate that you don't have to know the sport. And in a lot of cases, people don't want to hear shit about the sport. They want to hear the fuckery and the foolishness. And that's what brings in viewers.
Right. Yeah, and you're exactly right, Brother Black. And again, Jalen Rose does have valid points. I get what he's saying, but I see both sides because again, my background is television media, journalism, sports news. So I get it. I trained under. I was in the trenches, so I get it. You don't think everybody can just jump up and do it, but again, we're in a whole different world. Everybody has a microphone. We got social media. You can jump on here if you can be entertaining. You can. Most people going to tune in because just like you said, Brother Black, especially now in sports, Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless has changed the way that people digest sports commentating. When that first tape went to that whole embrace debate format back in 2012, now everybody wants to jump on and holler and scream and all that and make these old outlandish hot takes and without doing their homework. So I get where Jalen Rose is coming from because it's kind of doing a disservice to it. But again, effery and foolishness, as my brother Black says, it sells. So again, that's the world we live in. You figure out who you like and who you don't like, and you tune in. And another thing before I get out of here, a lot of these guys on these podcasts is on people's payrolls.
Anyway,
you got to remember that.
Anyway,
according to, it ain't been confirmed, but it's been said that Nick Wright and Shannon Sharpe are on Clutch Sports payroll. Crazy. So that means that they're gonna have their pom-poms out for Mr. LeBron James. So anyway, that's the sports segment for tonight. Back to you, Brent.
All right, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
We can hear you. We can hear you either way. You're very low for some reason.
Yeah, my microphone got switched to like the pro camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. You can always tell when your kids up here messing with stuff. Ain't got no business.
But you still kind of sound kind of low. If you, low, I think you need to project a little bit.
Project a little bit.
Yeah, there you go.
Give my $5.
Not that much, bro. No, you didn't went too far with it now.
That's the ugliest man in the world. God, no, he was okay. All right. Thank you. So wait. I want to ask a question though, for real. Like, y'all been watching these WNBA games?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Brother Black.
Oh my God. Okay,
I've never been into the lesbian league. It's been different.
Thank you,
Lady D, they ain't all lesbians.
Thank you.
They not. No, you're right. Well, okay. Well, wait. I got a question though. Is Olivia Miles? She the truth, bro.
She the truth. She that girl. She's a rookie. She's the rookie with the Minnesota Lynx.
And she's from TCU too.
Yeah, she dope. She bad. Yeah.
But here, I want to tell y'all this. I told y'all Caitlin Clark wasn't gonna be who she.
Yeah.
I told y'all.
Yeah.
I told y'all.
Yeah.
She come over and mess with these black girls. I told y'all she wasn't gonna be that good. Matter of fact,
Okay, I've seen her face, but she's a lesbian. Just
See, wait. You're talking about.
I'm just saying. I took one look at the chick, and there's no way she's not a copper monkey. I'm sorry.
My God. Okay.
I'll be damned.
I'm just telling y'all, like, they gonna have to make that girl from the link. She gonna be the face of the league. Thank you, Miss Carol. I appreciate it. I'm just telling y'all, Caitlyn ain't it, and I think Olivia Miles is. So y'all just
Wow.
you know,
And it ain't just Olivia Miles. It's a whole bunch more of them women that's dope. But Caitlin Clark is just getting all the spotlight.
No, for sure, 100%. So, yep. All right. Well, appreciate y'all. I don't know what just happened now. Did y'all lose me? Okay.
No, we hear you.
And you sound better. Yeah.
Oh, it should sound better.
Yeah.
And you look
Okay,
you
girl,
look
what
you
said?
look
She
better
said, I
too.
bought Curl says I bought an Angel Reese doll. It's going to be a collection item, and now I'm buying the sneakers and won't hear. All right.
I had thought about it, but I didn't like
that's
her dumb
awesome.
ass. I didn't like her dumbass response when she was asked about it. She just lied.
Yeah.
Talking about
All
I
right.
love being able to see dolls that look like me. She was born in 2003. My baby had an American Girl doll that looked identical to her. We could pick the hair, the complexion, the hair, just lying. Like she was
Right.
born in the 80s.
Yeah, they had black Barbies, baby. Don't worry about that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we haven't asked AI anything here in a few weeks. So I thought I would start with the fellas. And we'll talk about the ladies next week. But I wanted to ask AI what top 3 things would actually make a boy know that he's moved into adulthood as a man. And so, Kenny, what do you think? What do you think probably gonna be one of the things on this list? When a boy knows he's turning into a man.
I love the question.
Wow. Well, number one, we're gonna start with his genitalia because obviously that's gonna be you get a little hair on this. You know what? That's a sign he's moving into manhood.
That's not on.
That ain't on the list. Well, that was on my list.
Okay,
so
I got you.
you can't tell me my list wrong.
All right, hairs on your balls. I got it. Thank you, okay. Lee Black, what do you think would be one of the things we probably gonna hear? Top 3 that you are no longer a boy, but you're a man.
When I tell y'all that's my Capricornian flip side of the coin, because he thought I'm gonna tell you right now, my son's dick was bigger than mine when he was 15, so we definitely ain't gonna say that.
This is a test. This is only a test.
My gosh. Okay.
What I believe should be on the list. You have to have watched this platform to understand, to know the history behind that.
Yeah, you got to go back and rewatch.
You got to go. You have to know. And I'm not lying, but I'm not lying.
I understand. Okay. All right. Well,
I think what should be what's on my list, and I hope it's on the list, is when you can stand independently on your own and support yourself. That for me, everything else falls under that umbrella.
Okay, fantastic. Since I'll ask you next week because we're gonna deal with you ladies next week. Whatever. All right.
CC. In this case, size doesn't count.
My. Okay.
You know what?
All right, that sounds like a real talk for real men side show. So we'll take that. We'll let him start his show.
We ain't get ready to go down that rabbit hole. No, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you. All right. So it says transitioning from boyhood to manhood is deeply personal experiences, but there are certain signs and behaviors that typically indicate a young man feels he has matured into adulthood. Number 1, embracing responsibility. It says a crucial aspect of manhood is taking responsibility for one's actions, decisions, and obligation. A young man will begin to see the importance of accountability, whether in his academic, professional, or personal life. This includes meeting commitments, handling responsibilities such as work, family, duties, and taking ownership of both success and failures. What you think about that, sister?
I know dudes who still haven't done that, and they in their 40s. So are they men yet?
No, they're not. Y'all stop dating them.
Lead them clowns at the circus.
Is my mic on now?
I actually agree with you.
Okay, good. I mean, Lee Black, what you think about that? Taking responsibility.
I love it, but this is where the the lion's share of the responsibility go to parents. I think we have crippled these young men in this regard because they're being brought up in a system of entitlement until that we're delaying that level of responsibility because too many of these parents out here aren't exposing these kids to be responsible when it comes to money, learning how to pay a bill. We're giving them everything. So how the hell are they going to know how to be responsible?
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Nothing that you learn that was not taught to you. Everything you know was taught to you in some form or fashion. All right. Kenny, what do you think about number one?
I definitely agree with that. Hands down. You know, shout out to my mother, peace be upon her. She taught me responsibility at the age of 10 because I had to make sure I took care of my little brother. So, you know, some people would say, well, at 10, you were still a child too. But she was making sure, hey, son, when I'm at work, when I got to go to work, you make sure the house is this, make sure your little brother ain't nothing happening. So, yeah, I was taught the responsibility part at an early age.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
I was gonna say I love that, and if I could do it all over again, I would do that with my son because I did not. I did it with my daughters, and so they grew up more responsible because you're always told as a girl you start cooking early because our mamas would work 2-3 jobs, and so they put it all on the girl, even if the brother was older. So if I did it all over again, I would do that. So that's dope that she did that with you.
You know, and I think some of this stuff was just circumstantial, right? Because we didn't have any other way but to do it. So, because again, they would look at that as abusive today, right? Leaving your kids at home. And again, right? You understand the negative from it actually brought out a positive. And unfortunately, you were having to grow up because you didn't have no other choice. But yet still, that's what you need to do. So it's really a cutting the slicing the pie down two. That's not the right analogy, but the sword has 2 edges. So again, where you would say, yeah, you didn't have no other choice, but then that's the only way you was going to grow up. But I just think even now, like, we need to reinstill that. You don't have to be in no bad situation, but you do need to, like, your kids need to know that life is going to get hard for them, and they need to figure it out.
You know, it's funny we talked about this. I got a quick story where me and my brother went to D.C. for Father's Day. Juneteenth weekend. My daughter, shout out to my daughter and my oldest son for taking care of the pops. But we were going through TSA, and my brother was behind me, and we had to show our ID. So he was a brother too, the TSA agent. He took both our IDs, and I told my brother, say, man, make sure you got your ID, whatever, yada yada yada. So he took them both. Then as we were walking off, he said, "Oh, I can tell who's the oldest." he said, "I can tell you was the responsible." So he guessed that right off the bat. Didn't know us from a can of paint, you know. So
no, that's great. You know what I'm saying? So again, we still need to do it, y'all. Even though y'all don't got to work 4 jobs no more, and the kids ain't got no choice, but y'all still need to figure it out. All right, number 2, it says developing emotional intelligence. I think that's a given. It says a boy who recognizes himself as a man often shows increased emotional awareness and maturity. This includes understanding and managing his emotions as well as empathizing. I don't think somebody got to teach you that, right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, look, one of my guilty pleasures is I watch every night. I'm a man of routines. Every night I watch Pop the Balloon, the queer edition. It's my guilty pleasure. It is the most entertaining shit that you ever want to see. I can't wait for football to come back, so I'm mad that I missed the preseason game, whatever. But that is the trigger word in the gay community. Ask them all. So what do you want? What do you look for the guy? Emotional intelligence. So apparently we do have, this is something that has to be taught.
This brother Brent froze, or hopefully he's not. He damn so look like he froze.
For those of you who haven't missed it, every gay man that comes up there, 95% of them, they say, well, what do you look for, man? Emotional intelligence. And so that is the trigger word for them that they apparently, I guess if you take Dick, that you have to be taught how to be emotionally intelligent. So this isn't being taught.
This is a test.
We just gonna make up for all the weeks we ain't getting it together, are we? I don't even know what the question was anymore.
This AI, bot, whoever you asked on this AI thing, he FOS. I'm gonna say that.
Well,
I'm gonna tell you the true answer when we done.
okay, well, go on. What you? Oh, you talking about emotional intelligence or just period?
But no, like when a boy know he a man, because this is all bullshit. Like I know men who never become emotionally intelligent. I'm just being honest. They are, but no men who never become these men, but they are still grown. They're still adults.
Right.
But are you saying that by age, or are you saying that by?
I think that most boys feel like they men when they turn 18. That's when they start to poke their chests out and they start to feel grown. Right. And when they move out their mama house, which some of them never did. My daddy didn't move out till he was 50. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, but you could have never told my sorry ass daddy he wasn't a man because he always lived with a woman. He never had to truly live on his own till he was in his 50s and them hoes was tired of playing with him. So he was never emotionally intelligent. He was never financially responsible. Everything you said on the first one, but you could have never told my sorry ass daddy, God rest his soul, that he wasn't a man.
My God, okay. You make a great
make valid points.
And this is the thing. This is the problem why we need to start having better conversations, especially with our children.
And it was our fault, meaning us Black women. It was our fault. He was crippled by my grandmother. She crippled all of her boys. My grandmother had, I know I'm going down or whatever. She had 11 kids and all the boys were treated like babies. They were always coddled. They were always made to feel like they could always live at home, still got a room and shit, and you 40 because your wife put you out because she tired of you being a hoe. And then I feel like with my son, I was also, because that's what I was taught. I was also overly protective of him, terrified for him to go out in the world. He ended up going out in the world anyway when he was 16, because you can only cuss me out one good time in my motherfucking before you have to get on my shit. I gave some white woman temporary guardianship of his ass because you got me fucked up. And so, so he became grown early, but still, I just don't know who this AI bot is referring to, because I know some men never develop into that. I got a bunch in my family.
Church.
Can we get the bartender to get her another hot chocolate martini or something? Bartender. Good Lord. All right, honey.
You preaching, sis.
Kenny, I mean, I think this is really interesting. I don't know how a boy, I know boys, you know, especially the ones that think they're very very highly of themselves. They would probably be able to say, "Oh yeah, I got emotional intelligence," but I don't know I don't know how you figure that part out.
No, I don't think an 18-year-old boy he's impossible. He doesn't have that emotional maturity. I'd rather say maturity first, because women and men definitely mature at different ages, and that's fact. And I don't a boy that turns 18, he doesn't have emotional intelligence. He doesn't know, because a lot of times he's still trying to figure out who he is, as far as especially if you grew up without your father in the house, and I can attest to that. I was still trying to figure out who I was, even though I knew who my daddy was. I still didn't know who the hell I was. You feel me? So I think that's the thing that boys have to maneuver. And I'm just speaking on the Black community, because that's the only community, Black boys, I can speak on. I think it takes some time for us to figure that out and get therapy, but we don't do that. So
there's a lot of things that, again, I mean, you know, we can't fix the wheel, right? It's broke. So but nobody can ever do. There's no man that walks a journey out alone, not successfully.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's too many things that can injure you. And I think once we establish where we are, then we should be able to at least look back, you know, saying a generation or two, and at least get those kids a better opportunity, because we didn't have that. And I think that's why we have these conversations, you know what I'm saying? So that, because again, these kids are not going to know this. No person, and even Devin making the point about her daddy, you know, age don't make you mature.
No, definitely don't.
Yeah, it's the decisions you make in your experiences that make you mature. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because again, that's how you learn. So whatever. All right, number 3. It says establishing independence, and that's what Black said, right? Being independent. As a young man mature, they typically strive for greater independence and self-sufficiency. This might manifest in various ways, such as making decisions on his own, pursuing personal interests, manage. Man, you want to calm down on this perfume? God dang. Going to see her emotionally challenged boyfriend. Establishing a sense of identity and autonomy, making choices that reflect personal value and goals is a significant indicator that he views himself as a man. I'm gonna tell you, it's a little dangerous for me, Lee, because boys that do that, again, you're thinking more of yourself. Let somebody else tell you. Don't you tell yourself that. So I don't know. What you got on that, Black?
No, I feel you. There's a way, but once again, this is where I think, like my brother Kenny said, I'm only speaking of the African Americans, or my brothers. We failed our kids in many ways for various different reasons, because that's what I was talking about, the independence. And I love what you talked about, your personal experience, Brother Kenny, because I didn't grow up with father either. And I had to establish my independence and learn along the way. But was I emotionally mature? I love that you said that. Absolutely not. If I'm going to be brutally honest, I probably wasn't emotionally mature until I got to be 30. But I was living on my own at 17, So the other thing, I was learning along the way, But in this instance about that independence, I am grateful that being raised by a mom, with 11 kids, we were latchkey kids. That was a term that was used in up north, literally a little key around your neck because, my mom had to work. So when you got home, you had to do for yourself. I'm reading the comments from the super fans. Guess what, Miss Toria? I learned to cook when I was 10, 11 years old. And I'm not talking about boiling rice or boiling eggs. I'm talking about I know how to cook because I had to. And so that independence did help me when I moved out at 17, because guess what? I could take care of myself. I know how to iron. I know how to sew. My house was always super clean. I was responsible in that sense, but the other things came along the way, But yeah, being independent was a big part of me knowing that and accepting the accountability of that. I can't run home. I'm an adult. And I would love what you said, Lady D, because my mindset was that going home was not an option. I'm going to succeed out here. And part of it was failing. We don't push that part enough. And a part of a learning experience is failing. When I fucked up and I partied a little too much and spent money on shit that I wasn't supposed to, for 2 or 3 months, I had to live in the dark. No fucking lights. That was a part of the experience that ultimately turned me into the person I am today, where nothing can't fuck with me. The shit they doing at the top, I live so close to the bottom, I ain't never got that far to fall. You can't fuck with me because I can survive this.
Yeah. All right, sister, what you thinking?
Next. I just don't agree. I just don't agree. I just think men mature at different levels in their life and they reach all of these milestones, a lot of them after they are technically men. Because I would never tell an 18-year-old boy that he's not a man because he don't live on his own, or he's not emotionally intelligent, or all of these things. I would still say you are a man. You need to get it together.
So can you say he's on a journey, right? He's on a journey to being a man.
But because I think calling them boys and treating them like boys is where we crippled them.
Yeah, for sure. I think even now, like there's no rhyme or reason, and I don't even know when you transition. I think for me, nobody's gonna say, "Oh, you're a man now." No, you've just earned the respect of men, and at that moment, when you've earned men's respect,
I like that.
I like that actually.
I like that. I love that.
Once you start receiving the respect from men,
I love that.
Then tells you that you have made your rite of passage.
That's validation. That's the validation of it.
Right. Actually. Yes. So I think that's again, that's why we're talking, right? So we can articulate this. So again, boys, when you know your man, when other men begin to respect you.
And going back to Brother Kenny's point, a stranger in an airport who's known you all of that quick interaction recognized and validated you as a man
Right.
from that simple act of being responsible. And so, man, I'm gonna have to steal that from you, Brother Brenton, that it's the validation that you receive from other men that, you know, you've earned that in their eyes.
That's right.
You know, even though they don't know you, that you can look at somebody and know, damn, the way he carry himself,
That's right.
damn, you know, that's a man.
Yeah, no, for sure. What you got on this, Kenny?
I you know, the thing about being independent is it's about learning. I think first and foremost, you got to learn how to be able to take care of yourself. So that's what the independence is, and I think most most boys, men, probably really don't get that right. Probably until they mid to late 20s, to be perfectly honest with you. And it's kind of like a trial and error. You're gonna bump your head. I know I bumped my head, and definitely when you throw marriage into the equation, especially if you get married at a young age like I did, and you don't have a blueprint, you don't know what marriage entails. Right. Now you're supposed to protect and provide for your wife, and then you got kids. So now you kind of just you just kind of walking aimlessly trying to figure this thing out, and you're learning as you go, and so you're gonna make some mistakes. So I think one thing I would say that I teach my sons, learn how to be independent and take care of yourself first before you can take care of somebody else's daughter. Yeah. That's what I teach them.
Yeah, I think if game recognizes game, then y'all gotta let men recognize you. You know what I'm saying, and have that respect for that. Because again, as for some of the men Devin dated, they can't validate you. Them staying with their mama, and you know what I'm saying, and you know he still, you know, he ain't paid rent in his mama house in 10 years. Them ain't the dudes that you need to get that validation from.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? If you can see a man that you say, man, I respect what you've been doing, and that man said, same for you, young man, I like what you do, then you know you're on the right path. But if you got grown men still hollering at you, talking about how irresponsible you are, you got a long way to go, Chief. So.
And by the way, I only dated one of them. Those are my family members. And second of all, I was in my early 20s getting dropped off at my job by that sorry mother. And third of all, I would never date somebody that ain't paid rent in his mama house. Just so you know.
Well, damn, Lady D went down through there. She had
because y'all know when she ready to throw some shade, she be in here throwing it. I mean, handing it out like it's Halloween candy. So no, I'm gonna get mine in, honey. Because so again, that's good. So I can't wait till next week to see how these girls gonna turn into women. Because I'm sure it's gonna be totally different. But we'll get to that when we get there. All right, Miss Toria. I definitely send my condolences to your son. But
yeah, no doubt. Condolences to you, Lady T. For sure.
Yeah, I'm glad you gave him what you gave him while he was here. So we appreciate that. Thank you, ladies, for making sure your young men get up. But y'all need our help, and we only help those that we around. So hopefully that is what it is. All right, sister. Who business you getting in today?
Of course, I'm always minding my business, but I had a few heavy topics I wanted to talk about, but I was like, I did something heavy last week. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep it light and fun. Are y'all familiar with Kandi Burruss, from formerly of Escape? Now she's like a housewife. She has an ex-husband that I refer to as Todd Burruss, because she was the breadwinner and the man of that house. Right. So, and by the way, I vacationed with them recently in Nassau and stayed with them, and I was like, that made me pop I was like, okay, I'm doing it.
Okay. All right. Look out there.
We were standing at the shuttle together at Atlantis. But anyhow, he is single now because she dumped his ass after she helped him come up, because he was driving a Honda Accord when they met. But he turns 53 on August the 4th, and he was asking a question about dating advice. And he says, at 53, what age is acceptable for him to date, meaning a woman, and how should he date now? And he was giving advice such as you should take your oldest child and add 8 years. Some said you should only go 5 years above and 5 years below your current age. And Brenton, I know you ain't you ain't got to worry about this right now, so I'll let you think about it. But I'm gonna start with you, Ken, because you look like you got an answer. What is an acceptable age to date for a man in his 50s? His wife, by the way, just turned 50, but she a little different because when you 50 with money, you look a little different. She different. But
right. With me being a single man in my 50s, 57. If I were to give Todd advice, I would tell him to, don't go any younger than 40.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh, what happened?
Whoa. Hey.
My bad.
What the hell? My bad, Todd. You didn't even let me finish, bro.
I know, right?
Hey, well, hold on, brother. Wait a minute. Let me finish. I would say I would tell them to, if he's going to go younger, go no younger than 40. And I wouldn't go older.
What?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
No.
Black, what's an acceptable age to date? I'm almost afraid to ask. What's an acceptable age to date?
That's my dog. That's my dog. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, according to the movie Malcolm X, says you take half your age plus 7, and that's supposed to be the correct age. I'm 58, so if I went by that math, she would have to be 36. And my brother Kenny says 40. I agree with him 100%. The absolute lowest I could look at would be 37, 38. But I agree with my brother Kenny 100%. At this stage, if I was entertaining serious, now if I'm just trying to knock the dust off them draws, then she can be 19. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? She legal in them streets, she can get it. But I'm just saying, if I'm talking about seriously dating, well, I'm being serious. Every May they have a whole new bumper car with holes out in these streets. So okay, but anyway, if I'm talking about being serious in dating, you have to be at least 40, because there has to be something enough for us to have something in common. I don't listen to that anything like when you start getting 37, 30, their music, their dress, their style. We don't have enough in common to dating on a serious level. And this is where I really agree with Brother Kenny. As a 50-year-old, I can't seriously date a woman that's older than some, unless I'm doing it for money. But I'm talking if I'm going to be serious about her.
Is it purely aesthetic?
No, it's no, because you have some beautiful women that are older, but this is a selfish trait for me. I don't know why it's for Brother Kenny, but there is a selfish psychological thing for me where I need to be the older one in a relationship. I just can't psychologically see myself in a serious relationship with a woman that's 62 and she got me on life experiences, unless it's for money. But seriously, I need to look. I'm a chauvinist. You know that, sis.
Kenny, why can't you go older?
I just ain't never been attracted to older women.
Oh.
I just haven't. Every woman I've ever dated been younger. So I just, unless you're Angela Bassett, that's just like yo and got it like that. Nah.
So yours is aesthetic then.
Yeah, mine's definitely aesthetic. I can be honest about that. Yeah.
Okay, Brenton, I know you don't ever have to worry about this, but what would you tell a friend that an acceptable age was to date in his 50s?
50.
Damn.
I mean, listen, man.
Damn.
I can't. You're right. I can't answer this because apparently my wife, she has some telepathic ability because we both dying together. That's what I've been told.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Is that right? Well,
Yes.
if she stopped trying to get us to go together, I mean, I always putting her hand around.
Go together.
No, yeah, I don't. I mean, again, it would have to depend on the person, right? Like I need to, especially if I know that person. Like if I know that dude is silly, I don't know, cause girl, you gonna make me take a whole rabbit hole. I don't know. I think it's a case by case basis, to be honest with you. And again, there's so many factors in because again, that's like you said, the aesthetics, the prosthetics, whatever. Who knows what you got going on and what's wrong? So again, because again, she gonna want to be happy too. So again,
good point.
Yeah. So it just all depends. So I don't know. I don't know what Todd even bringing to the table right now because nobody.
Candy's money.
That's right. So again, I don't
Well,
know
it's
how
his
much
it's
other-
his money now,
That- well,
according to the
that's true.
courts.
Well, that's
You're right.
that's true too. So again, I don't know. I don't think older women will respect him no way. So he might want to go on and just, go for the youngins.
Well, I would have advised an older man that I knew that was dating to strictly look for somebody for compatibility. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, if you go too young, she don't like y'all. I'm just gonna be honest. She be pretending that she like y'all, but she be thinking about the other benefits of you. Think you got some money stashed somewhere, or she gonna have it made, or she gonna be taken care of, and things like that. And I just don't think that older dudes should be trusting young hoes. And at the same time, a lot of women that are over 40 today, like we, especially Black women, we try to keep ourselves up. You know what I'm saying? We usually have decent jobs. We're aesthetically pleasing. But I also know women that are in their 50s that got it going on too, and that are physically looking good because we take care of ourselves today and things like that. So I always advise people to look for compatibility, because in my mind, you want a relationship that's going to work and have the power to last. So you need to, I know men do it anyway. Try not to find someone strictly by their physical looks. Of course, that's going to be the draw to them. But then I would start looking more into the compatibility piece to see if it's got staying power, because y'all ass ain't getting no younger. And you don't want somebody, when you start to break down more, gonna be like, I didn't sign up for this shit and leave. A woman who's going through something and has had life experience is likely to be the one to kind of tough it out with you and not just take your pension and leave. But now I go back to minding my business. What's up, Ken?
But what if she breaking down too? What am I gonna be doing with an old jalopy that's breaking down and I'm an old jalopy? One of us got to have a new car smell too. One of us still gotta have that.
I hear you, but that's when you try to date someone that's, what I'm saying, that ain't already got a lamp. You know what I'm saying? You try to find somebody that's on the same level as you physically, but yeah, she might break down too, because, life happens and circumstances and stuff like that happen. But my point is, when you break down quicker because you've dated someone that's 30, she might decide this ain't what I signed up for, and I ain't trying to deal with nobody, grandbabies and all this other shit. And that's why I started talking about the compatibility piece, because you want somebody that's going to truly love you for you and be with you strictly for you because they like you and they're going to tough it out with you, opposed to, having some young ass dude drive your car that's truly dicking her down in the background. But now
I agree with you, Lady D. You know I'm a poke. I gotta pick your brain, but I agree with that.
She ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Miss Tori, I didn't know you and Lee, y'all was in the same club. Y'all think everybody gay? Maybe he is. I don't know. I just listened to her say he gay.
She said Ty gay.
I'm telling you, she said Ty. That's what I'm saying. She said Ty.
I don't even know who he is.
Yeah.
Sherry, I don't see
exactly. You don't know who he is, but you know who his wife is. That's
I know who his wife is. I know his wife.
If you watch Real Housewife on Atlanta, you've seen Ty before.
I never watched the show, but I know who she is.
Oh, okay. If you saw his face, you probably would recognize him though.
So, brother, is he gay?
You know what? He don't seem to be gay. My gay radar, I don't have a good one. I'm just gonna go and tell you. Unless they just flaming, I don't have a good gay radar.
Okay.
I don't think he gay. I just think people.
I don't think he is either.
Sometimes when you a good man and you a good dude, people start labeling you and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he's gay.
Okay.
Again,
What's his name? I'm a Google it. What's his name?
Todd Tucker. Todd Tucker.
Okay.
Ty Burris.
Todd Tucker.
Todd Tucker Burris.
Okay, now Sherry, I would say this. I love you, and I mean it.
You know, Sherry be on, boy. You know what, Sherry?
That is the weirdest threesome I would ever.
Sherry is my soul sister. I think we somehow got separated somehow.
I agree with that, lady.
That is my sister.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a weird
Sherry be on one.
He's a real freak, and so is she. Yeah, it's coming out now.
They are freaks now, but Candy has said out loud that she's bisexual. So.
Yeah. Now he don't just on looks. He don't give me the gay vibe, Brenton.
Okay, that's no problem. Is it?
I don't think he is. Me personally.
You and Miss Tori, y'all. I'll give it to y'all. So, all right, y'all. Let's move this thing right along. Happy Juneteenth, ladies and gentlemen. I guess what was the 5th?
Yeah, it was, my baby boy's born day. Yeah.
Okay, good. Now listen, it was our third. This happened back in 23.
Was it
Yeah.
23 when this happened?
That's
Yeah,
years.
I think it was 23.
Wow.
That black man took a chair to them white folks' heads. Yes, sir.
I remember
Y'all-
that show. Damn.
Yeah.
Y'all remember we actually did when we did the show and we talked about them folk in Alabama. I think that's where
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah,
right?
Alabama.
And that security guard was getting jumped by those
Yeah.
white boys.
Right.
And folks was on that little river boat, and they were
Yeah.
one clown was hopping into the water, which he couldn't.
One of the
wait
brothers
for the boat.
swam across. You know, they say we can't swim. One of the brothers swam across and was getting it in.
He was dog tired when he got there. He couldn't fight nobody. Fool.
Yeah. No, he got a couple of licks in. I remember that.
Yeah, that was a nasty squad.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask, because again, I can't find my. That's what I was doing. I was looking for my chair. Somebody took my chair.
Yeah, I was gonna say we ain't seen the chair. The
I ain't
chair
seen that.
cut
That's my
in.
chair. I gotta put my
Oh,
chair
they
back
took
in
it.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask y'all now, 3 years in, and we've had time to process this. What do y'all think we take from that moment then, with them having that fight? That was again. That's a lot there. That picture can tell 1,000 words. But I want to know from y'all now, 3 years later, what are we taking from that moment? What are we reflecting on now? That, like, you know, was this just a moment where it was time, it was you know what I'm saying, it was about time, or did we learn something new that we didn't learn, or again were we fed up? Sister, what are we reflecting on now that we've let time pass, that moment said to us now? What does it mean when you see that now?
To me, it was very eye-opening, and it definitely showed that I feel like it humbled who feel like they are superior to us. And I think it took away a lot of fake ass power that people thought that they had. And I think now they've realized that we are not the same Black people from the 50s and from the 60s that are afraid and won't defend ourselves and won't stand up for ourselves. And I think everybody has now learned that anybody can F around and find out if necessary. That's what I took.
Yeah, I mean, Kenny, I know it was just a moment in time, but there's a moment, as Cedric the Entertainer says, we wish. That, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that, but at the same time, you know, we still ain't gotten nowhere from that in 3 years. So again, right, that was just a moment.
Yeah, it was a moment, but just taking in that moment, man, it was a beautiful thing to me to see my people come together and help a brother that was getting jumped by some mayonnaise folks. And it showed me, that moment showed me that when we put our mind to it, we if we stick together, not just through fight, not through violence, but even just through a movement, a political movement, whatever movement it is, a social movement. If we come together like we came together then with a white chair, man, we could take over this country, man. You feel me? So it did give me hope, but it also showed me that race relations, man. You know, you can say what you want. You know, we still ain't gonna have no kumbaya moment.
Oh, no.
It ain't happening.
No,
Not
Black,
yet.
no, for sure. Black, is there something we taking from this now? Should we have learned something, or just don't follow?
We should, and that's the disappointment. That's why I agree with my brother. I didn't realize it was that long ago, and it makes me sad just to reflect on it in a way, because I had hoped that would have been a galvanizing moment for this generation, their version of Rosa Parks, that literally, not figuratively, we stood up and said to Lady D's point, no, we're not gonna stand idly by why this and let this happen. And so when you got me reflecting on it in this moment, and I think about since that moment where we've had Kendrick Lamar do the Super Bowl thing, but here we are. We're no more closer now to any kind of unity than before. Guess what? We can go back, and I'm gonna play in your lane, Brother Kenny. Colin Kaepernick, they're still killing us. Just this week alone, a Black woman was hung in Mississippi.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Nolan Wells' mom is being threatened her life every day. And yet we talk about Chris Brown and Usher. No disrespect to them, but my favorite term is what should have been a galvanizing moment for us to take this serious about we're under attack and we're trying to be erased. We are way too focused on the fuckery and the foolishness that happens. And so that chair, it makes me sad that it, for that one moment, there was a solidarity, and what was understood didn't even need to be explained. And I wish we could get some way and find our way back to that place, because they are killing us, folks. And pulling out your phone and recording it is not enough. Some motherfuckers need to be cracked across their head.
Right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I agree with you all. We've not gotten any better. I mean, just recently, I guess some little black girl was getting beat up by 3 white girls.
I saw that.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, ain't nothing changing, y'all.
Nothing.
Again, we got to protect our kids, and I don't care what color you are. Protect your children, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And again, I don't jump in everybody's business, but if I saw a brother getting beat up like that, yeah, I'm going to get in that thing, too.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to get some of that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
I am. Yeah. That's a little piece of cheese I'm going to mess with. Right there.
Yeah. I'm going to get some of it. Yeah, come on.
Yeah. So, again, I just think that's a blip in time. We just ain't going, yeah. That's okay. All right. What they mad at? I got a question. I just want to ask y'all quickly when we get in and get out of this. There's a video going around about DoorDash employees getting mad because they're not getting tipped.
Oh.
And then they turn up people's food and, messing up their food like that. Sister, I know you bougie. So how often do you DoorDash?
Well, for one, I don't do DoorDash because I heard it's the Walmart of delivery services. I use Uber Eats. I'm a classy lady. And and with Uber Eats, they don't know the tip that they're getting until after they leave. So I mean, my tip is automatically put, because they ask you the percentage or whatever.
Right.
My tip is already on there. So then after they drop my food off and leave, then they send a message saying thank you for the tip, because they don't know what it is until it's been delivered. So I don't know how the DoorDash people are even knowing whether or not you're giving them a tip before they get to you. Y'all better stay out that Dollar Tree of delivery services and figure out a different way to get y'all food.
Well, just call me Dollar Tree, because me and my son's DoorDash.
What? So hold on. Hey, mama.
What up?
Hey, mom.
Hey, mama. How you doing?
Hey, good. Yeah, thank you for chiming in. Tell your mom Sherry we said hey. For sure. Kenny. You do it. So y'all got a tip up front or what?
No, I tip. I tip. I mean, well, and I worked in the restaurant industry too, so I get it. So I do tip DoorDash. So I'm not gonna ever have that. It may not be what you want, but it's gonna be significant. I'm gonna leave you a tip. So no, I get it, but I think they out of pocket for for feeling some type of way if you didn't leave a tip. Yeah. You don't do that, but yeah, I'm gonna tip anyway.
But Lee Black, ain't this some foolishness? I mean, be mad at DoorDash for not making us pay automatically for the tip, right? Don't take it out on us. You work for them.
And I agree, because that's the good Capricorn above me. I'm a notoriously bad tipper. I don't believe in it personally.
You Scottie Pippen? Is that what you said, Brother Black?
Hey, I'm for real. When you accept that job, I didn't tell your monkey ass to become a delivery person. And so I don't Uber Eats or DoorDash. My bougie sister in New York, she does that, Lady D. So y'all are kindred spirits and that shit. I have an aversion to somebody delivering my food. For me, the idea that I got to pay even the company something, I just get in my car and go pick my food up and get my shit, because the idea that I got to tip you, but even if I'm in a restaurant, I'm a bad tipper, but I agree with what you said, that the job is the job. Look, if your qualifications don't go beyond you delivering my motherfucking food, then you know what? You get whatever I give you. Yeah. Right. But at the same time, I don't like nobody messing with my food anyway, because I don't know where you've been, what you're doing, and what's going to happen from the time it leaves the restaurant till it's in your funky ass car, and who hovering over my fries and this, that, and the other. So I don't like nobody messing with my food.
Nah, yeah, I think y'all should just get a different job, y'all. They don't need to be messing with nobody's food like that, but whatever. So, Taco Bell said they suggest they put tips in there because they're gonna make them hold up they order longer because people ain't gonna want to take their food to them.
Well, you know what's funny? A lot of places kind of add a gratuity anyway.
Exactly,
So
and I hate that.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it really you might as well just add the gratuity. That way, as the consumer, like you, Brother Black, that don't tip, then it's already added. You ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah,
you know.
That's why I don't go out to restaurants, and I hate that group shit where you in a group and the whole bill coming. You think that we ought to split it down the middle when I only had water in one entree. Hell no.
My God, yes, sir. And he wanted to go to Waffle House with him.
So that's why he do church's chicken, ladies.
Yeah.
Just go on tell you.
I do tip, but you gotta, the service gotta be good. As you ain't gonna get hardly nothing out of me for sure. So, all right, y'all. I gotta do another scenario for you. What won't you sacrifice for success? And I know I'm missing a comma, but I apologize. I've been working really hard.
Easy answer.
Yeah. So, okay, hold on. So let me give y'all the scenario. So Shaq was on a show, and he was talking to his son about.
That was a good segment too.
It was, yeah, it was. And so, his son was telling him, he was getting ready to go work out for the Kings, and what I'm saying, they were talking about being great, right?
Okay.
And Shaq was beginning to tell him what he had to sacrifice to be who he was as a basketball player, which was asking him how many games did I miss, how many times was I not at home. He said, I became a great player, but I lost the whole family.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really interesting because I had to ask myself, dang, everybody wants to be so successful, but they don't really factor in what the sacrifice they're willing to make.
Right.
So I'm asking, why are you over there? What go on, girl?
Because he gaslighting like a son of a gun, but okay.
Nah, you going on. We ain't talking about that salacious gossip stuff.
Because he was a big ass, gigantic ass hoe.
Lady D, no, we not gonna do that with this segment. You get ready to go off into the salaciousness. That ain't what we talking about.
Lying like a son of a gun.
We're talking about his profession.
Okay.
He was a professional hoe.
Lady
you
D,
know what, Lady D?
Are we gonna do this tonight? Are we gonna do this?
Let me say this one thing in his defense, Lady D, and I mean this all seriously. Shaq is one of my favorite people walking the earth. You're right, but I love that he owns that. He has on many occasions, not just this platform, and I didn't see this particular story. He's acknowledged that he is solely responsible for losing his wife because of his hoish ways. And as he reflects on this as an older man, I respect that he owns that. And so again, he acknowledges that he was that hoe and that he took his wife for granted and stuff. So he's one of my favorite people walking the planet.
All right, Miss Diane Marie, how you doing? She said, Devin, you right. Okay,
how you doing, Diane Marie?
Thanks for joining us. He's a hoe, but I'm a hoe too, so I speak up.
Yeah, but that segment wasn't really about his. If you watch it, it wasn't about his philandering ways. Thank
you, man, philanderers. Thank you.
But anyway, I'm messing with Lady D over there.
I know, yeah, I'm with you. So, Devin, what then? You know the level of success that you aspired to be at. What was it that you had to sacrifice?
I sacrificed sleep. I sacrificed my kids because I didn't start school until after I had 3 children and was married, but I was a quote unquote married single mother. So I had to figure it out. So I started school after they got to bed and after dinner and all that stuff. So I sacrificed me. Like I'll say that it was so hard. So yeah, I did. I sacrificed quite a bit. I almost sacrificed my marriage because he had told me if I went to school, he was going to divorce me. And I said, kiss my ass, and enrolled that next week. We stayed married though. But yeah, that was a lot that I sacrificed.
Well, Lee Black say that's what you get for being pretty, but I don't know. Listen, ugly ladies, don't y'all try that because I'm telling you, it ain't gonna work, honey. Okay, Kenny, I mean, what did you have to sacrifice, man, to get the level of success that you have?
Man, and Lady D hit it on the head. I think it depends on what your aspirations are too. I think if you really want to be good in whatever your craft may be, I think you are going to have to sacrifice some things, and that means that not just for athletes and entertainers. Obviously, we know they do sacrifice a whole lot. Let's be honest, they do. You see a lot of them. Because if they want to be great, they do have to. Family can't come first. They craft have to come first, and that's just being honest. But even outside of that, just regular people like you and me, if you want to be really good in your craft, you have to sacrifice some time and some time away from your family, from your children. What I was doing as a television news photojournalist, I spent a lot of time away from home. I was on call a lot. I would have to go and get out to bed at 2 a.m. You feel me? So you do have to sacrifice some things if you want to be great in whatever you do. Now, if you just want to be mediocre, yeah, you can just kind of walk through the motions and do what you do. But if you want to step your game up and be the best you can be, yeah, you're gonna have to sacrifice some things. And sometimes that means quality time with family.
Yeah, that's crazy. Black, did you have to sacrifice anything, man, to get where you are today?
Absolutely. And I'm gonna reference Shaq again. This is where, going back to the AI question, how do I define success now at 58 versus 30 years ago? My sacrifice did cost me my marriage.
Yeah.
I to Kenny's point, I had no model to follow. I was figuring this shit out on my own. So I got married at 21. I thought at that time to be a husband. I love how you put it, Kenny. I'm married at 21. I'm responsible for the care and of somebody else when I don't know what the fuck I'm doing my damn self. And so I thought if you work and you're a good provider and you make money and this, that, and the other, all the stuff would fall into place. And I neglected the things that was important, and it cost me a marriage. It literally cost me a marriage. I was a great provider. We were a young couple, and at that time, made good money. We had multiple cars. We had all the material shit. We didn't want for anything, but I didn't put it in the time. I didn't know you had to. Nobody told me that. I didn't have a successful marriage to look at, to draw from, and I had no older men to tell me, hey, you should follow this. So, and then I think about my education. I made a lot of sacrifices to get to sit here now where I'm at. Yeah, the time and the commitment it took, and to swallowing some of my pride sometimes to do shit that I didn't necessarily agree with, but it took bending a little bit, not breaking, but bending a little bit sometimes and compromising to get to this place. Now, I don't know if you're going to ask on the second half of this what I won't do, because now as a 58-year-old man,
I'm going to.
I have a different thing.
Okay, yes, sir. Thank you. So my final position about this. So knowing what you know now, sister, what would you have not sacrificed?
I never sacrificed my peace of mind, like ever again. Like there was a lady, a Black woman, very intelligent Black woman, one of the directors at my job. They announced her promotion today. She's going to be VP at a hospital in Virginia. And I said, I would never chase money and title that much where I would like uproot my life and because I even talked to my manager because she's telling me how she wants to grow and all that. And I said, hey, I'm not tooting my own horn, but you have a really good boss right now. Not everybody, you may not have the same work-life balance and all of that I allow to you, because I always preach that with my, staff, making sure they're happy and they're comfortable and trying to take as much stress off them as possible. And I will never, I know even my husband came to me a while back because they were talking to him about a director position, but it was all the way in California. And I said, sorry, we are financially okay. You know what I'm saying? There's no need to have more. And I'm just not sacrificing me to chase a title of money again. I've done that before. I will not do that again.
Yeah. I mean, Kenny, what now, knowing now, what would you not have sacrificed now?
Mm. I my time given to a job.
Mm.
I really sacrifice a lot of time to a job that I really wasn't compensated for. It was a lot. I gave that company a lot of time that I was never really paid for.
Yeah.
Which added a lot more stress. So now again at my age of 57, I'm not compromising. I'm not compromising my time for free. If you want my time, you're gonna pay me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, sir. What you not gonna do that now? Well, you about to tell us anyway.
My principles, because I define success different at 58 than I did at 28 or 38. And so one of the stories that sticks with me and will always ride with me, what happened to Ryan Clark, the football player and commentator, how he was unceremoniously let go from ESPN. And then he had a conversation on his own podcast, and he almost came to tears when his friends and guests asked him about how he feels, and he talked about how had he not been his authentic self and still lost his job, how much more it would have hurt. Why am I bringing that up? I define success very differently at this stage of my life. Right. I figured something out. It took me 58 years to figure out something that we hear all the time. Money don't bring you happiness. You know, a few years ago, I made 6 figures and I hated my job. I worked 6 days a week and I hated the people I dealt with and I hated who I was every day. And so I made some conscious, intentional decisions. I paid off my car. I downsized how I lived my life. And I found a new way to exist and live. And I'm out here living my best self right now, even relocated to Dallas for that reason, for that peace of mind, Lady D, and being my authentic self. So behind these walls and this, where I'm sitting, talk to you right now, this is where I sit every day and do my job. And I have the ability to log in, give those people what they need. I give you an honest day's work, no more, no less. And I don't compromise who I am. And every decision you make comes with consequences. Yep. So I don't lie, cheat, misrepresent, but I'm not going to compromise who I am in terms of my personal morals, integrity, and principles. And so every day when I shut this computer off, I feel happy and I can look myself in the mirror that you didn't take something from me that I didn't give you. And so for me at this stage of my life, what I won't give you, what I can't give you, is who I am, so that you can, like my brother above says, use it to your advantage and get rich off of it. No, I have a job to do. This is what pays, this is what keeps the lights on. But I'll be damned if I'm going to give you all of me. So I had to rethink and relearn what success was. And I'm never going to give a job, and for that matter, anybody, all of me. Ever.
All right, sir. Well, I'll just say this. Me and my wife talk about this quite often, how proud we are of ourselves, because she put up with a lot of me for a long time because, again, right, we all were chasing that carrot, that trying to get that space. And, you know what I'm saying, I was neglecting my family. I know my wife's going to correct me. I think I was at one of my 4 children's births. That's bad, but that's the truth. I think 1. No, 2. She'll tell y'all. But again, thinking back on that, I was just busy, and I shouldn't have been that busy, right? And again, you know better, you do better. Of course, that's why we want to teach our children now that, hey, live a simple life so that you won't be having to, try to fix things. Now, again, I do not wish anybody to try to raise kids by themselves. You got to have 2 people because something's going to fall off. If my wife is not there with my kids, I can't be gone like I was. You know what I'm saying? Because again, and now my wife, she at the house and I'm running around here chasing these kids out, these doggone sports and stuff like that. And so, hey, girl, I'm tired now. You got to come on some of these games. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, I was just teasing. But so anyway, again, y'all, we have to be careful what we can only tell y'all what we sacrificed when it came to our success.
Mhm.
But we clearly see that we wouldn't have done it if we had to do over again. We definitely wasn't gonna sacrifice. Look at her.
Yeah, there go wife right there. She
I
done
knew
popped
she
in
was
there.
y'all. Yeah, I knew
Yeah.
she was there. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was only for 2 of them. I didn't make it to all of them. So anyway, all right, y'all. Well, that's a good conversation, and we'll just let it ride. We need to do Black Love here next.
I love it, man. You killed it tonight, brother.
I appreciate that. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I can't repeat his words, but I'll let him tell y'all what he getting back.
And you spelled it right too. I'm happy. I'm happy.
So I'm gonna date myself here. Oh, we lost Kenny. Where my brother Kenny?
No,
Okay.
he being petty. No,
Okay.
that's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you be a petty Paul down there, petty Paul.
Damn. So I'm gonna date myself a little bit on this segment. I don't know how many viewers we got watching, and I hope people come back and watch the content after the fact. But for those of us of a certain age group, you might have heard this expression, "Oh, he's shitty sharp." I see some heads nodding. And when you hear that expression, "he's shitty sharp," they're talking about casket cleaning, how you look. And I just told you guys today, one of my guilty pleasures every single night as I watch Pop the Balloon, the queer edition. And one of the things that's so important to that demographic is that they call the younger generation call it, "I like your fit." That's what they say. I like what you got on. Well, why am I bringing this up? Last week's show, we talked about how HBCUs are now incorporating a new dress policy, and it didn't get as much attention as I would have liked to have devoted to it. And I debated between that and this. So I'm coming back to it, folks, because it's still relevant. Relevant, why? Because guess what? Right here in Dallas, I live in Dallas now, this weekend is tax-free weekend for going back to school. So some places have already gone back to school, but for many of us around the country, we are getting ready to go back to school, and the parents have a decision to make about buying clothing and things for their kids. How am I relating these two? So when I've had conversations about what the HBCUs are doing, no bonnets, no do-rags, and this, that, and I've watched all week the debate. One of the guys that I follow is called Funky Dineva. He's a sassy, gay guy, and I love him. I really do, because, he's an opinionated SOB like me. And he talked about the fact that he was first introduced to that down dressing from white people. And the fact that they were the ones that started wearing pajamas and this, that, and the other. And his take on it was the fact that it shouldn't matter how you dress, because how you show up in class, you should be worried what's in my brain, this, that, and the other. And I respect people's opinion, whether I agree with it or not. And then another person I follow is my boy. He has his own podcast where he, what's his name? I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank here now. Frankly speaking. And he talks about how young people are even responsible. So as we're navigating what to wear, does clothes really matter? I just want to ask that question. Does clothes really matter? Whatever. This is not a referendum on fashion. I can sit here and tell you right now, I have no idea whatsoever what's fashionable, things like that. But I'm going to give you my take on it. And I'm going to take you back to the movie Lean On Me. When Joe Clark pointed out Sam, and he said, "Look at this sloppy boy, and look how he's dressed." He said, if you get up in the morning and this is what you see in the mirror, you shouldn't come to school. Why is that important, folks? Why is it important, the clothes we wear? And why is that important? Does clothes really make the man? So this is my opinion. I think it really does. I think it matters because, to me, folks, we have thrown the baby out with the bathwater. We have ushered in an era of entitlement, and I can do what I want to do and wear what I want to wear, and it shouldn't matter. And that's why now when we look at weddings, funerals, and even how people go to church, my pastor Beneath can speak to that. Now, while I'm a big fan of the fact that the scripture says, "Come as you are," but what does it say about us as people? And I'm only talking to the brothers, to us right now. Fuck the white people. I'm talking about us. What does it say that we're more willing to be cautious of our fit when we on a dating show than how we show up and present ourselves to God, and how we show up at weddings and funerals? When did it become fashionable that most men, we talked about on this show about being an adult? Do you know most adult Black men now don't even own a suit? That on formal functions, I wore this shirt on purpose. Y'all know when I show up every day, I normally be comfortable how I work. This is what's considered dressed up for a lot of people nowadays. And while there's nothing wrong with that, it speaks to a larger problem. It speaks to the unbothered culture that we've ushered in with this segment organically, where we've failed the young people, in my opinion, because we've ignored professionalism and how we show up and be prepared for right moments. Because guess what, folks? How you look is a powerful form of communication. It is how we are perceived. And while I'm okay with you having your right to dress how you want to, it does matter, folks. Even if you was to Google what are the main reasons and how clothing matters, first impressions, self-expression, confidence and mindset, social and cultural norms, professional opportunities, group identity, and practical function. All of these are vital, valid reasons why it matters what we look like. We can't have it both ways, that even in HBCUs where we're comfortable around one another and we think it's okay to wear bonnets, do-rags, and sloppiness, but then want to be taken seriously as professionals. And that's why the question that the moderator asked today about being an adult matters. Because if you want to be seen in this world where we already start every fucking day with 3 strikes around us, no matter how, and this is whether you are a man or a woman, as a Black woman, how she shows up every day and how she looks, it matters. And how we show up and how we dress and we're seen as young people, it absolutely matters, because there's a reason why some 30 years ago, a sitcom like A Different World boosted HBCUs, because it for the first time on network television, it showed Black people in a different light, in that it opened the doors to how others see us at African-American schools, and that we do come to professional and we look decent. But when we've watered it down, folks, to the point where our freedoms are more important than how we show up, I got a news for you people, and this is for all of you memas, papas that are helping guide these young people, because you're helping them make decisions too. Clothing matters, folks, and freedom is not free. We're being eradicated, folks, and we're giving them the ammunition to do it if we don't take something as simple as putting on professional attire and showing up ready, prepared, and looking in a professional manner, whether we come on Zoom, in person, or how we see each other. And we're taking for granted too easily something as simple as how we roll out of bed. And so this is just one man's opinion, but in my opinion, it does matter. And being shitty sharp still has value. I'm Lee Black.
Yes, you are.
I definitely agree with that.
Boy, you bobbed and weaved your way to that one, didn't you? All right, man. Great show, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate every part of this show. Even my mic messing up. I'm gonna find out who did that. I'm gonna take some money.
You still could use a little bit of volume, though, brother.
It's still low.
It's still low.
I hear you, and I think it's anyway. I think I can see what the problem is. So we should have that fixed by next week for sure. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, listen, it's final thoughts time, and Brother Kenny, by all means, please, sir, give us your final thoughts, sir.
Already appreciate the love, CC, Lady T. I think Sherry was in here. The other Lady T, Mrs. Haynes, was in here as well. And who was the new one? We had Miss Diana, I believe it was. Oh, Diana Reed. Okay, well, I just want to say, just want to say thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. That is TFG tonight and share it to all your social media platforms. I want to kind of piggyback off of what Brother Black said, because one of the previous segments, Black Love, we was talking about about success. What would you not give up, and what you aspire to be. And I think one of the things about, if you want to be successful in life, you're going to have to give up some things. And I think if you want to be all that you can be, you are going to have to sacrifice some things. And sometimes you have to play the part until you can be the part. And why I say that is, Brother Black was just mentioning, why would I take you serious if you show up with a bonnet, a do-rag, with your pants hanging off your ass, and you say that you want to be whatever it may be? Mm-hmm. First impressions are your most important impression. So my thing is, to all the young people out there, I think you guys, and again, I don't want to be that old man on the lawn, because I'm not. I get it. Y'all have your own little style, and I get that. But I came from a generation that even if we ain't have ish at the house, if we know we was going to step out, we was going to step out and look presentable. Our mamas made sure that, look, you ain't going to have me looking no kind of way.
Right.
You make sure you put on your best clean shirt. Your pants going to be ironed. Your shoes going to be clean. You're going to have some clean drawers and some clean socks. Put your best foot forward, young people. Because that's all you got right now. Until you get to that place where you can say, okay, I can relax. I can kind of do what I do. No, you can't do what you do, because your appearance matters. That'll show me that you really want this gig. You really are into your craft if you are really dressing the part. So that's my final thoughts. And I want to thank Brother Black for that segment, because I like that.
Well, good. I'm glad Kenny likes segments. Thank you, Kenny, for that. Miss Tori, you are right. Ain't nobody come in my house looking crazy either.
Me neither.
Right.
You trying to date my daughter for sure not.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, madam, you and that chocolate mulberry martini. You tell that bartender he got to fix us all some drinks next time.
I know that's right.
I'm actually going to piggyback off of the same thing, because I recently had this conversation with my kids, because your kids try to tell you that you old and your ways are old school and antiquated, because I tell them I don't expect you to look like my generation did, because the men from my generation, they would go through a whole goddamn can of spray starch and you could sit them pants up in the corner. You know what I'm saying? They would rock hard.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
The hell out them. They be ironing for an hour, one per piece. So I would tell them nobody expects you to look like that today. But I've always was big on them coming up of, you need to look a certain way when you leave the house, because I don't know why my older generation would always say you never know who you're going to run into. And that has always kind of stuck with me, because I have one daughter who has no issue with leaving the house and like wearing a bonnet. No one would know she's educated. No one would think that she's smart, because what I tell her is people judge you by how you look, and I don't really give a damn. And I was like, Martin and his crew, they marched for miles in church shoes and suits. They had on whole goddamn business attire, marching, getting hosed down and eat up by dogs and shit. But I can promise you, if they were sagging and had on wife beaters, they wouldn't have tugged at the heartstrings of the U.S. like they did, at which was able to help them make like change. It would have been totally different if they was running around with goddamn shiesty mask and shit on. You get judged by what you look like. And so so on one point, I don't like that we're the only race that are always policing how we look. But at the same time, I have to realize we're judged just automatically when we walk out the house because of our appearance. And I just think that adds to that judgment when you carry yourself a certain way or whatever. So I haven't quite got them to understand. Well, one of my daughters is better. Still working on the other two, my problem kids. But I keep trying to explain to them, like, treat your bonnet like it's underwear. Quit running around with your goddamn bonnet on. Like, put your hair in a ponytail or something if you don't feel like dealing with it. So I totally agree, because like I told her, yeah, you got an education, but if I didn't know you were my child, I would think you was some ratchet ass hoe that probably got through twerking earlier, and that ain't even who you were. So I mean, it's a big deal, y'all. Just it depends on where you're going. I'll even say that. It depends on where you're going. Just riding grandma's house to go help her do something, that's totally different. But if you know you out and about and you about to be seen, give a damn about what people are going to say about you and the impression they have of you. Y'all be blessed.
Oh, amen, amen. All right, thank you. All right, sir. I know you got a little more in the tank, so go on, guys have it.
Well, and I'll just make it a trifecta and why this story was so important to me. I work for white corporate America, and for many of them, I'm the only Black person that they'll ever get to talk to in any significant way. And so I get backhanded compliments every day of my life. Every day of my life. And so when I log into work, a lot of times I'm in a t-shirt. I literally roll in from bed. But whenever I have a Zoom meeting, I literally change my shirt. As Lady D, you probably know what I'm saying, because it matters how I come on screen and how they see me. Because if I just took it for granted that they know I'm working from home, and you should see how some of them come on screen. And I cringe sometimes when some of my other Black people, I literally have Black women that I cringe. They swear to God, I can't make this up. They come on with bonnets. Can't make this up in a professional setting. And then some of them are walking around and, you know, you see basement and Molly ass kids running behind them and all kinds of stuff. And you got to realize, folks, we're living in 2026 Trump's America. And so that fleeting moments that they see us on camera, when the camera go off, they're having real conversations about who they believe we are. And there's people that, well, yeah, it doesn't matter. It does matter because it matters for the person coming behind you. And so when I talk about those backhanded comments, when I get the one-on-ones with the director of this and the director of that, Freddie, you're so this, that. Now, they don't know anything about me. They don't know I curse like a sailor and I like bitches and all kinds of crazy shit. But they've never seen me drink on camera. The boss of all admissions, he said his one goal in the rest of this year is to get me to curse on camera. And I told him it will never happen.
I know that's
I will never give that up because it matters how they see us. And so I do take this so seriously. And so that's why it matters. And for, you know, the young kids, my son and my possibly daughter too, I hate what they wear and this, that. So I try to pass on to them that, you know what I'm saying, how you leave the house. And I love what you said, Lady D, because where's the pride? And we got to get back to a place where, you know, we get too comfortable around each other. I call it the bruh man syndrome. You know, if you watch the show Martin, you know, we take each other for granted, but even around each other, what I love about this platform is every single week, not only do we show up as our authentic selves, but we're all presentable. And while we curse and say crazy shit, don't get it twisted now. Everybody on this panel is a success story. And there's a reason for that, because we give a damn about how we show up.
Wow. Yes,
Real
sir.
talk.
Sherry says she got her daughter whipped. But what does it mean? Well, what does it mean when your wife won't get out the car and go into the store? Because I've been working all day, and she I mean, we literally wasn't gonna get nothing for dinner just because she just wasn't gonna get out the car because she didn't like the shorts she had on. What?
I don't blame her. She living in her. She a pampered princess. Leave her alone.
I love it. I love it. Go ahead, Miss Haynes.
Yeah, man. Ain't nothing wrong.
Go ahead, Miss Haynes.
Lady
My husband
T.
tell me I'm hungry. I don't feel like cooking. Let's go out to eat. I said I done got comfortable. Put on my comfortable clothes. I done put my. I'm not going. No, I'm not doing it. I refuse. You should have called me before I hit that corner going to the bedroom.
What is going on? She said, I nobody's blaming. I'm just telling y'all. Everybody's all proud.
You should be happy that we give a damn about how we present on your arm.
Well,
Yeah,
she don't
because they're a representation
That's
of
real.
you.
That's
You're
real.
exactly right.
That's real.
She looks
Yeah.
good to me.
Yeah, but
That's real.
you got to remember with a woman, they
We
looking
know
at
how
it from a
other
different
people view
perspective.
us and how
That's
other
real.
people judge us.
Yeah,
That's real.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. I'm gonna remember that.
Brother, you lost this one.
yeah. Just gonna take the L for this one, brother.
Let me tell y'all something about me. It's not even the fact that I will take her home and just go get my own stuff and come on back. I get out the car for me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Why we gotta get out the car for us? You know what I'm saying? You could have went and got your. we don't have to have chili on the chili dogs. We just had the hot dogs. Nobody gotta have the chili. Okay, it's okay.
Well,
All right.
you be showing out on this live
I'm
stream.
telling you.
I already know when you log off.
Hey,
It's a
hey,
whole nother
Thank
conversation.
Thank you.
Hey, and this time next week it'll be 21 years. Yeah, it is.
That's what's up.
And believe me, you smart enough to know why it's been 21 years.
That's what's up.
Shoot, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I'll turn into Ike in a minute, honey. Y'all.
No,
I
you know
get,
what?
baby. I get.
The Ikettes. Yeah, you gonna be an Ikette.
Let me get my
Sing it.
final thoughts so y'all can go out here and go out here and finish. So, okay, I have a question. Do you remember a time you made a decision that you knew was bad, but you made it anyway, but it didn't cost you? Like you made it out, and you said, "Lord, if you get me out of this, I won't do it. Do it again."
Mm-hmm. Oh, I
Yeah.
definitely do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
Went to this hole in the wall club that they always used to have shootings at. And they had a shooting there that night. And I was like, Lord, if you let me leave this club without not losing my life, I would never come back. And I never went back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Blackwell. What was her name?
How would you know? Now the truth of it is, I don't remember what her name was. But yes.
My God. All right, sister. Do you remember a time?
I let my homegirl Weasel talk me into going to a house party
Weasel.
That's what caught me.
in South Dallas. When I knew I wasn't made for the streets, I come straight from the sidewalk. I was terrified for my life. And so as soon as I got out of that neighborhood and got back on 45, I was so happy.
Yeah, I was.
Her name was Jeanette. Y'all know we all got
Okay.
kids
I'm like,
named
Weasel. Okay.
nicknames.
I feel say,
God
I
rest
know
her
Weasel
soul.
too.
I actually lost her. She was like my childhood best friend. She died.
Oh, wow. Peace be upon
Wow.
you.
Yeah.
All right, well, y'all do me a favor. Y'all just take a look at this situation, and then we'll see what if this reminds you of anything that you just so glad you made it out of.
Here's Radix, and this one's called Shopping Cart Roof Guide.
Nope, he didn't make it.
You know what?
I pray that was AI.
It was amazing that the cart landed
You know what?
straight, but damn.
You know what, man? I don't know if y'all used to watch Family Guy, but
Yes.
there was an
Yeah.
episode where they did that same ish. Cleveland and got doggone Peter
Oh,
did
my
that
God.
same ish.
Yes, dude. Yes.
Wow.
Well,
That's
unfortunately,
funny.
this young man didn't get the same outcome as we got. But again, listen, y'all know better, so y'all do better. So that's all I would say. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord ain't saving y'all from all these situations that y'all going through. As you can see, you know what I'm saying, this young man, and then we lost Kenny, so it don't matter.
Dang it,
All right,
I'm froze.
That's it. Somebody done killed Kenny. I don't know.
Yeah, damn.
They done lost.
Damn.
They done killed Kenny. I be damn.
Yeah, that's
I'm
it.
back.
Sad
I'm
part.
back.
That's
I
right.
rose
Thank
from
you.
the dead.
That should be.
There he did again.
Then I'm dead again.
That's right.
I know. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh my goodness, that's too funny.
That was a good picture, though. That would be a good. That would be a
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
though.
It looked like Fred Sanford's son, Lamont.
Oh man, y'all wow.
All right,
Boy.
y'all. This is a great show. I'm gonna go watch me some South Park on that note.
Yep.
Yes, I'm about to go watch South Park. Listen, y'all. That's Lee, that's Kenny, and that's Devin. And I think we're gonna go 4 for 4. We'll see y'all next week. We out here. Peace.